This has been my classroom for the week. And it's called The Sanctuary. And this is where I stood for the first time on stage introducing myself. Oh, those flowers smell amazing. I thought I would come in here to see if, stand on stage for one last time and see if Spirit wants to talk. Having a vision of standing on stage in a really big room, and there is a lot of people. Wow. I can feel the energy of anticipation and excitement in the air. And I'm being shown the color purple. You know, sometimes Spirit is so literal. It almost feels like they're showing me a vision of the future. And I don't know if it's about me specifically or if it's about someone or a few someones who have been in this room. Like Mark, for example, who was standing on stage and doing mediumship for a big audience, and I was seeing myself drawing, so I really feel it could be me or it could be a few of us, really. I'm being reminded that when I saw a medium several years ago now, I was told to work on my stage presence, and I have come a very long way from that moment. It's really interesting. I'm seeing color and energy coming out of my throat and going into the audience and kind of like swirling around them and really uplifting them. I'm seeing people crying with tears of relief, tears of joy. The atmosphere is palpable, and I feel teary because I am so deeply connected to my audience as well. And by doing this, I'm showing them that sensitivity is a superpower and that it is safe, not only safe to be sensitive, it is also being true to who we are by allowing that depth of sensitivity to come through and to be seen and to be heard. And now I'm being reminded that earlier in the week, a lady said to me, who was channeling my great 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 grandmother, that I need to work on my I need to work on feeling and being safe to be seen. And I feel like I have been doing that this week. I feel that every time I've stood up here, I've felt even more confident than I have before. And I'm literally on a stage. The very first time I was on a stage was me singing a song from The Little Mermaid called Part of Your World, but instead of singing the regular lyrics, I had shifted them into something that, oh God, I know what's coming. Okay, I shifted them into something that resonated with my words more and how I was feeling and just my life, I suppose. It's funny because I'm wearing tights right now that have mermaids on them and fish. And my voice is not the same as it was yesterday because I was dancing and jumping and screaming out the lyrics with everybody else as we were dancing and singing last night. And it's just really funny as well because I kept feeling like we should do karaoke, and other people like, yeah, there used to be a microphone. And I was like, awesome. And then the moment came where we were all dancing and singing, I want to break free. And all the other songs that came on, like Grease, and I feel like I have a really performative spirit sometimes when I'm listening to music. It just happens naturally. I just want to act out the lyrics, and I'm so passionate and full of life. And the energy last night was so high, it was amazing. And I didn't drink because I haven't felt like drinking. And it was a really great night. And I'm feeling emotional because it's our last day today. I think and feel, well, I know, Spirit is encouraging me to sing right now. And again, my voice isn't the way that it usually is. However, I'm going to be courageous and see if I can remember my lyrics. Look at this life, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you say our reality's unique? Wouldn't you think I'm a girl who has everything? Oh, it actually, do you know what? Those lyrics were slightly different compared to the lyrics that I first wrote. Because the first one went like this. Look at this hair, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you say my complexion's unique? Wouldn't you think I'm a girl who has everything? But if you look a little closer, nothing is what it seems. Look behind my eyes, see behind my smile, and you will realize the truth never lies. I've got I've got stories and tribulations plenty. You know what? I actually cannot remember all of the words. But you know what? I shared a little bit of my song with you on stage while having this vision of many people watching me. And I was thinking maybe I could have been a performer in a past life. However, that doesn't feel true. I don't have that resonance within me. And something that I found incredibly enjoyable and just naturally, organically happened while I was up here. For the second time after I introduced myself, is that I really thoroughly enjoyed adding mediumship with art, and blending the two together came so naturally to me, and it was not as scary as I originally felt like it could have been. And the words just came through and the image came through immediately, and it was amazing. It was such an incredible feeling, and the beauty and the wonder of this part of my story is that many people have stood on stage right here before me, having moments of bravery and being courageous and taking opportunities when they arise, regardless of how they feel or think about themselves or their abilities or whatever. They've still come up on stage, they've still allowed spirit to blend with their mind and to speak through them and bring incredibly inspirational, loving messages and philosophy. There's been a lot of philosophy the last few days. And I'm feeling that this message is not just for me, this message is also for whoever's watching who resonates. If you are scared, do it anyway. Acknowledge how you're feeling, make sure there's no danger, real danger, and just give it a go and see what happens. See how spirit moves you, see how your spirit moves you. Allow yourself to flow and express yourself and don't hold back anymore. Don't be afraid of hiding. If someone laughs at you, then you probably don't want to have them in your life anyway. And by that stage, I feel that you would have, or I would have, or we would have the understanding or the inner standing, the inner knowing that we don't actually need to take that on board, that we can just allow that to, like, if it hurts, yes, acknowledge it to yourself. We don't need to give them any more energy, and we don't even need to give them any energy at all. One of the biggest takeaway points for me this week has been that I can hold my energy within me and not project it outward, because sometimes, even when we project love or peace or joy, whatever it is, it can still hurt the other person, also depending on how sensitive they are. So I've learned that the reason, or part of the reason, I've been such a big catalyst for people in their lives is because I was constantly projecting love, thinking that it was that was a good thing. I didn't know that it actually can hurt people, because it reminds them of what they don't have or what they want or how they don't feel that in themselves. And to some extent, I feel like that's not my responsibility and that's about them. And the other part of it is that it actually, like, after practicing this all week, it feels a lot better to hold my energy within myself and just be love, as opposed to projecting it onto other people. And I have seen in a healing session that I was doing yesterday just how that worked. So I started with we were sitting in front of each other. I started with my hands on my knees, and immediately I felt their force field pushing my hands out. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to hold their field. This is the first time that I had thought about it. Just holding their field, just being love. And I was sending love as well, which is why there was that pushback. However, as we were getting more comfortable with each other's energies, and as the energies were shifting, they dropped their defenses, and I was able to tune into another layer of their being. And in doing so, that same resistance came up again, and then this time it was dropped even quicker, and the next time was dropped even quicker, because we have also developed have also developed a connection throughout the week, especially the last couple of days, where we really got to see each other and be open and vulnerable with each other. And what I really loved, part of the feedback that I was given, is that when we started, it felt playful. And I love that. I thought that makes so much sense, because playfulness invites vulnerability, and vulnerability invites us to drop our shields and allow what's meant to happen to happen. And of course, spirit is helping and blending with our minds, and we have our whole divine team to help with that. It was just such a profound moment, and I've never done healing like that. I had never done healing like that before until now, and it felt so good, so good. So I'm definitely going to be utilizing more of that healing. I feel like I will be on stage again, whether it's as large as the group of audience that I was being shown. I don't know, and to be honest, I don't really want to think about that right now, because it still makes me really nervous. So I'll just sit with it, and I'll see what opportunities come up in life, and I'll see how everything unfurls. God, I wish I had a video of that first moment when I was on stage blending mediumship with art. What I can do is stand here and feel that and know that this is part of my life purpose. And though I was very much questioning that at different points during the week, it's also important to add context into things, because mood, food, emotions, people you're around, the environment that you're in. For women, the cycle that we're in our monthly cycle, all matters and is all important. How we perceive and express the information that we're receiving through our senses, feeling, seeing, hearing, knowing, smelling, divining through symbols, whichever way it is that works for you and that are your unique cues, my unique cues, everyone's unique cues, is all helpful in the context of how to bring those messages through. And how do we know if we are connecting with spirit, or we're just sharing something inspirational, or it's from our own thinking mind? This question has been asked a lot of times up here, and one thing that really stands out for me personally is my energy feels like it's at a higher frequency when I'm connecting to spirit and channeling, and the energy around me shifts, the atmosphere shifts. And when people are on stage and they're connecting to a loved one specifically, the whole atmosphere of the entire room shifts. And it's absolutely phenomenal to witness. And the messages that come through are so deeply heartfelt and touching. And it's an absolute honor for me to be able to do what I do and share what I share and bring the positive messages and the healing through, to feel and be more connected to everybody that I connect with. It's incredibly fulfilling. And to see real life changes happen in front of my eyes for people when I share a message, or they're really feeling that connection, that I am really connected to their loved one, and they've been wanting a message from them, and they have been hurting because they've been missing them, and there's no place for their love to go, and I'm able to connect them to their loved one. Words truly cannot describe how beautiful and deeply honoring that is for me. I can see why I didn't go on stage one last night. Because we were only going to be given 3 minutes. And if I stood up here, I would not have done 3 minutes. So, this is my last goodbye to the sanctuary room. And I just want to acknowledge all the beings, seen and unseen, this week that have assisted me on my journey to being more me and to sharing my gifts and abilities more freely, to liberate my soul and the soul of others, to bring through words of wisdom, encouragement, healing, peace. And to uplift others and continue celebrating life together, holding each other in the darkest moments and allowing that that regulation process to go up, down, and come back to neutral at some point, so that we can be and feel more regulated within ourselves. And then we can send out the ripples of resonance through the whole world and the whole cosmos and uplift humanity as well. Thank you so much for listening. This has been very pleasantly surprising. Sometimes it's just about taking that next best step for us and knowing that when we honor ourselves, we honor each other. I love you. See you soon.